is we're going to be covering a couple different stances. We're going to cover Zenkutsu Dachi, which is the front stance, Kokutsu Dachi, which is the back stance, and Neko Ashi Dachi, so cat stance. So front stance, back stance, and cat stance. We're going to use these three, and then we're going to be doing drills from these three. So today, we're going to start with standing Hajiji Dachi, normal. Hajiji, feet underneath our shoulders, regular stance. Our feet are slightly bent out, not straight here, we could just have slightly bent. We want to think of this as a natural stance. Our natural stance, we're standing, waiting for instructions. We're going to get into Zenkutsu Dachi, front stance. Now front stance, I'm going to show you facing the camera. I'm also show you facing to the side to give you a perspective. So Zenkutsu Dachi, stepping into Zenkutsu Dachi from Hajiji Dachi. What I want to do is I want to slide in and extend. Now I'm looking towards you right now. You're looking towards me. Important, you see my chest, my hips facing towards you, not facing away from you, but towards you. So I'm leaning forward. I can push. You ever rock a car? 1, 2, 3, push idea. So Zenkutsu Dachi. So as wide as my shoulders, at least as wide as my shoulders, my front foot has to be straight. It has to be going in the direction I'm going. I can't have it turn to the side. And turn to the side, the knee starts to buckle and go in. So very important, the front foot is facing the direction I'm going. The back foot, here's 0, there's 90, the back foot, 45. The back foot is going to be going on the inside of 45, probably 30 to 45, somewhere right in that range, okay? So it's going to be used as a spring. It's going to be used as a spring going forward. Now, this knee has to be bent. So I'm going to turn to the side now and step into Zenkutsu Dachi to show you things that I don't want to see. I don't want to see a short Zenkutsu Dachi with just bending your knee forward past your feet. That's not right. I don't want you to stand here and be comfortable. Comfortable because short maybe shoulder width. It shouldn't be shoulder width. It should be longer than that. 1.5, 2 shoulder widths long. So idea is when I step into Zenkutsu Dachi, is I step long and low. Now my front toes, my knee is over top of my toes. Now if I lean back a little bit to be lazy and I can see my toes, it's wrong. So I want to make sure I can't see my toes. My body is facing the direction I'm going. My back leg is straight, locked in, it's rooted down there. So 70% of the weight is on the front leg, 30% is on the back leg. Forward energy. So I can do reverse punch, I can push, idea going straight. Okay, so Zenkutsu Dachi, hands on our hips, step into Zenkutsu Dachi. Transitioning, moving from Zenkutsu Dachi, don't do this. Up, then down. Up, then down. What I want you to do is keep this knee bent, transition the feet side by side, and then transition over to a Zenkutsu Dachi. Make sure the front foot's going straight. Make sure the back foot's off to a 30 to 45 degree angle. Chest and hips are going straight. When you shift back into Zenkutsu Dachi, going backwards, keep the back knee bent, feet together, slide back out. Zenkutsu Dachi, shoulder width. Okay, so I want to avoid the mistakes of having the hips turn to the side, chest turn to the side. I want to avoid being able to see my toes. I want to avoid especially the back foot being wider than 30 to 45 degrees. I want to not have it so it's so far over because there's no push. I want this to be to push it forward. And when I go backwards, push off the front toes, push back and transfer and go back. Always come in and around, okay? Zenkutsu Dachi. Now, let's move into the second one. It's going to be Kokutsu Dachi, back stance. Now, same as Zenkutsu Dachi, I'm in Zenkutsu Dachi right now. When I want to shift to back stance, I want to get away from something. I just want to shift, so Kokutsu Dachi, back. I want to shift, I need to use these hips. I need to use these hips to pivot. I don't want to do a step 1, step 2 feet. I want to pivot with the hips. The hips and the heels are going to work together. Pivot and lean away, something comes at you. Pivot, lean away, and then you can pivot straight back. Pivot and lean away, pivot straight back. So Kokutsu Dachi, leaning back. Great drills from Zenkutsu Dachi transferring to Kokutsu Dachi. So same thing, Zenkutsu Dachi, I turn to the side. When I transfer my weight, Kokutsu Dachi. I want to transfer my weight, and I think of transferring and leaning back. Both of my heels were moving forward to the side. Now when I transfer, I want to transfer and think of straight across and slight bend so I can lean away. I can get down low here. Here again, I want to think of 70% of the weight is on my back leg, 30% the body weight. Center of balance is right down straight behind my heel, maybe 1 to 2 inches. Okay, Kokutsu Dachi. So when I transfer, my hips transfer the weight back forward. My hips transfer. I pivot. I drive my heel, my front heel. I drive it forward. Pivot my hips away. Kokutsu Dachi, Genbarai, Zenkutsu Dachi, reverse punch. Kokutsu Dachi, Genbarai, Zenkutsu Dachi, reverse punch. So, Kokutsu Dachi, things to avoid on that. So when I'm in Zenkutsu Dachi, I shift to Kokutsu Dachi. I want to make sure my heel doesn't turn away and start following this line, because then to turn my body back, I got to turn and make 2 big pivots. Not good. I just want to think of leaning, try and make sure my feet are parallel to the wall or direction. I want to lean my weight here, and I don't want to have this leg straight. I want to make sure it's bent and toes down. Okay, that's important. I want to make sure that's a very important thing. Also, what I want to do is avoid having a step. I want to pivot with the hips, turn, pivot the hips back, turn, pivot the hips back. Kokutsu Zenkutsu Dachi, Kokutsu Dachi. Okay, the last one we're going to work on is Neko Ashi Dachi. Neko Ashi. So Neko Ashi Dachi is a cat stance. So Zenkutsu forward, Kokutsu back, Neko Ashi is cat stance. So cat stance, sometimes something comes at you and you need to get away from it. So instead of taking a step all the way back, you can just take a step backwards, lean backwards. So how to do that? Well, now we're going to talk about the heels again. My back heel and my front heel are on the same line, okay? My front toes are facing the direction I'm going. My back foot is going to be about a 30-degree angle, 45 or less, about 30-degree comfortably. My knee has to follow that line. The front foot, so I'll turn to the side for you. The front foot is going to be about 1.5 feet in front, not so you're way over here and you're extending your body like that. I want you to think of your body weight. I want you to think of distance. So your foot and half in front, okay? On the ball of your foot, not the toes touching. The ball of the foot, that means it can come up and do a snap kick, okay? So make sure the ball of the foot. Make sure you are going to sit down. So sitting down is making sure these hips don't go to the side. Don't go to the side. What I want you to do is think of hips going straight back. So I'll go straight back, I'll sit down, like you're on a piano bench, playing a piano. You can use your foot to tap the pedals, okay? Idea here is I'll turn to the side. When you sit down, when you're Neko Ashi, heels aligned, When I sit down, I want to drive this backwards and down. I want to sit down so your butt is going to be about 2 inches past your heel. Okay, your back, your chest is straight, that means your back is straight. You don't want to be bent over like this. You don't want to be leaning back like that. You just sit down, okay? Once you're sitting down, you're going to be in a good position for movements. Now, the important things to make sure you don't do. Make sure you don't have your hips out wide and your legs out wide. If your legs are out wide, you get hit groins, not safe, not protection. So this creates a problem. So what I want to do is by having my foot 30 degrees to 0, when I can close up, I can close that gap and protect. Okay, so I want to sit down, the back knee is below the front knee, very important. Okay, so we covered those 3 stances. We're going to use those 3 stances in a series of drills. So I want you to make sure you review and listen, watch and listen to the instructions. Make sure you understand the stances. Make sure you understand what sensei expects. Zenkutsu Dachi, forward stance, toes being covered by the front knee, back leg straight, foot less than a 45 degree, 30 to 45 degrees. Chest straight, hips straight. When we transfer Kokutsu Dachi, use your hips, use your heel, and transfer your weight back to your back leg. 70%, 30%. Try and get that foot parallel to the direction you're going. Okay, so when you transfer back, your rotation is from your hips. And then from Zenkutsu Dachi, you can slide into Neko Ashi, play your piano, making sure your heels are in line, making sure the ball of the foot's down, toes are up. 30% angle, knee traveling the same line. There's your 3 stances we're going to be working on. Get it? Right.